Coffee. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome back. Glad you made it. Social Production. Thank you for joining me once again. It's Wednesday, March the 27th, 2024. Wagwan, everybody. You're in and around the world. If it's your first time, buckle up, buckle down. Where can you find these videos? Every Wednesday and Friday, dropped on Instagram to chopped out little pieces. If you like, follow me there. Subscribe on the YouTube channel to help your boy see it grow. Help yourself. Tell your family and friends. Check out patreon.com/RobSadra if you'd like to become a member and financially, fiscally support the show. So to see it snowball even further down the hill. But this hill is never ending. And it's always downhill. No, wait, it's only up from here. That's what the saying says, and the saying says what it says, so let it be said. And if it's been said, it's been. How you doing all in and around the world? Well, if you're tuning in from Canada, what's going on, Canada? What are we gonna have to do together? What does it take to get Canada? Canada. Let's make Canada great again. What does it take to get it back? What does it take to? Because oh man, we're spiraling down. But we're not here to talk about this, that, and the other. Yeah, yes, we are. Seriously, Canada. Walk one, everybody. What does it take? What do we have to do to get Trudeau out of here and just a little bit of balance? What does it take? What does it take, everybody? Assets frozen in the banks. Censorship on freedom of speech. Oh man, what does it take? Economy's like, whoa. Housing prices are what? Cities are, oh man, but what does it take? Seriously though, let's get them out of here. Let's mix it up. But out of that, what's going down now south in the United States? Hello, Wagwan everybody down in the United States. Wagwan to everybody in Mexico. Wagwan in South America, over there in Africa and Asia and Europe and Antarctica and Papua New Guinea, in Australia, Korea, China. If you're watching from China, which I believe you are. That's what I've been told. That's what I keep hearing. Everybody's watching from China. Not like regular Chinese people, but I hear there's like a lot of cyber espionage from China. New Zealand, UK, and the US are saying there's Chinese cyber espionage on, and then there's TikTok. There's talk of TikToks and TikToks, but keep it going. Keep all of it going. Keep it all up, because so many things are going on around the world. So we're gonna keep it simple today. It's gonna be a loose Wednesday. I hope you're squirting right now as we're speaking. I hope you're coming all over your bed sheets, and I hope you're using condoms if you're not looking to make babies. But if you're making babies, I hope you're doing it raw dog. Because if you keep that condom on, it's gonna be extremely hard to make babies. Hey, stupid! Take off the condom if you're trying to make a baby. But you gotta figure it out. You know what you're doing there, I think. Abortion people, shout out to my abortion people. Shout out to my people who are, also shout out to, animals out there. Shout out to aliens. Shout out to all the other planets who are also in our solar system, but outside of our solar system as well. Frequencies cascading across the intergalactic friggin' ranges and shit and touching down. What are we even talking about? I don't even know what we're talking about. What does it take, Canada? What does it take? Let's do this together. Let's have a little bit of fun. Let us transition. Let us transition into one topic and one topic only, but we'll touch down on many different things as we go along the way. Today we're gonna be talking about dating. Ladies and gentlemen, dating. Fighting, dating. There you go. There it is. Dating. We're gonna talk about dating because that's what it is. Because your boy's out here doing comedy podcasts, trying to become a stand-up comedian. Shout out to Just for Laughs. That's no longer laughing in Canada. What's going on with it? Is it a money issue? Do we need more funds for the Just for Laughs festival? Your boy's not been. But I'm a team player. Your boy's a team player. So whatever it takes to get the Montreal Just for, like, it's not just about me. There's others just like your boy. But individuals, beautiful individuals, similar yet different from your boy, but who we need each other essentially. So what's going on? It's liberalism and feminism, man. I'll say it kind of narrows down to two of the contributing factors as to why Canada is having a difficult time having a laugh. So if we can nip that in the bud, it's been budding, it's been blooming, it's a prolapse of a flower at this point, but it is ripe. It is potent. It is just about to, it's ready. If you poke it, it'll just ooze out all sorts of pus, but that's what we like. But I'm out here trying to do my thing, and today we're gonna be talking about dating, because your man's went out there on a date, and it had been a while. So let's get into dating. First of all, dating is fun. Dating is nice. Much nicer than it. I'm not one of these people that'll say, oh, dating is challenging. Dating has got its challenges. Dating, but it's not difficult. It's not like, it was way more difficult to date like 100 years ago or like 200 years ago. It's much easier to date these days. It's much easier these days. We have it so good. That's the thing. I'm very grateful before we even get into it. Very grateful. Gratitude up there. Like whatever the limit is for gratitude, I'm touching the threshold. I'm licking it too. But so dating's nice. Went out on a date on Monday evening. Just tight. But before we get to the date, how do you even prepare for a date? Let's take it one step at a time. Boys and girls, ladies and gents, if you're dating out there, if you're in the sea of dating, if you're, doing laps in the dating pool, if you are just, shaving and putting creams and moistures and ointments and squirting and spraying things on yourself, if you're taking showers, or if you're not showering, just to kind of, because what do you even do? Should you even shower before a date? Should you even shower before a date? Because one, pro showering for a date, if you were to shower for a date, you'd be clean, you'd be a little bit more, made up, you'd be a little bit more, pampered, you'd be a little bit, they say put your best foot forward, but also if you're like, what's the thing? But they also say pheromones. They also speak of pheromones and scents and natural body odors. Just this, and I'm not talking about like hit you in the face. I was like, oh my god, but like just a little hint of just like, maybe I just worked out, maybe I just worked. Maybe I just came back from work. Maybe it's just outside running errands. And you know what? Forget the shower. And what you smell is a little bit of pheromones. And you can't even smell it, but the brain picks it up. Your nostrils subconsciously pick it up. So should you shower? If you're like pheromone out, maybe shower. If you went for a jog, if you just like had a, physically demanding task, whether it was work or funsies or whatever you were doing, if it's your body well, you for yourself decide. If it smells like the trenches in there, if it smells like a dead cat having sex with a rabid raccoon, interspecies breeding out there, just fucking coming out with rabies babies amongst the babies, with the animals with the furries and shit. If it's something that's off-putting, take a shower. Maybe it's not even that. Maybe it's just, you feel better if you're fresh and you want to just, soak it up, give yourself a rinse, maybe do a little bit of manscaping, maybe the ladies out there, if you want to do a little bit of grooming, because you never know what's going to go down. Maybe you got a nice, beautiful, sexy bush. It's lush. Maybe it's been a few months. Maybe you let it run wild. Maybe you could trim it up a little bit on the sides, or maybe you could leave it, because some people out there apparently like it when it's messy out there. Some people apparently like a nice messy bush. I don't know who. Okay, fine, it's me. One of them is me. One of the guys that likes a nice big mush that's just it's something about it. It's something about that. We're tapping into that Amazonian fucking, like let's, wear a leather skirt and ride a horse and carry a sword and bow and arrow, and then hunt a pigeon, and then fucking let's mate on a blanket we made out of animal skin. Ooh, it's cold out here. We're just we're tapping into that animalistic instinct or something there. So there's something about that, whether you'd like to, but showering is optional. You could do that. So I did shower. I did do a little bit of groomage. Shaved the old nutsack, because you never know. My nutsack was like ready. I left the top part of the bush, pubic bone as the scientific, the pubis maximus, Aurelius. I left it. I left a nice bush, but I shaved the nuts, and I shaved just like the bottom of the shaft, just around it. Just make it nice and tight. Just taper it, give it a nice fade. Bush was intact because I'm like, you never know what's gonna happen. Shower, shave, clean it up. Because, boys out here trying to do things and also get a dick sucked. You know what I'm talking about? And and it's been a while because many things come up as, if you've been with me from the get-go, you know what's going on. But it's been like, mainly like, your boy's very work oriented. You could say your boy's a workaholic, and that's a positive holic. Not a lot of holics are positive about work. If you put yourself into your work and become a workaholic, it's one of those things that's like clap for. Fucking booties getting behind it, clapping for that shit. But sometimes they also say like work-life balance. But I don't believe in that shit. I don't believe in that. Maybe younger me would have believed in that shit, but like, mature, at least more mature, not too mature, of course, but like the more mature, again, not too mature, like, we're using that term very loosely around here, but like the Rob today is like work oriented. Almost get in there, write a joke, think about it. Oh, what's a good premise? All about that shit. The hamster upstairs, I've got it in. I'm up there, dude. I'm up there, just whipping the hamster and making him run, keep him dehydrated, but also putting a little bit of that. I'm putting a little bit of whatever it takes in that water so that the hamster keeps on spinning. So that's what I do. So, priorities, comedy. Married to the game, made her my wife, put a ring on that shit. Everything else there is no second. There's nothing else to it. There's nothing else. And that's where I've been at for quite some time. That's the thing. I think it's going to be like that for some time. Until probably my 40s or maybe even 50s. But by that time, maybe I'll be so entrenched into the lifestyle of just, being a solo pilot of my own life that I'll just be like, you know what, maybe that's, but whatever, the doors are open, also open to love and all that. It'd be nice to find love but you need somebody who's, and it's a lot to ask for in terms of like, if you're out there doing your thing, it's just, it's what it is. When you become an adult and you're doing your own thing, and it's just like, you got to find somebody that's like, it's in many ways it's become easier to date, and in many ways it does have its challenges. Much easier in comparison to 100 or 200 or 500 years ago, because man, dating back then would have been like, I don't know, get a horse, go across town, find a lady, and then go in the bushes, make love, come back to the town, profess your love, have some people clap, have some people throw tomatoes at you, get married, potentially start having babies. 5 months goes by, king or a prince comes through town, grabs your lady, rapes your lady. Now you gotta live with that. So much easier. You no longer have that at least to worry about. You know what I'm talking about? So it's like, it's much easier. Or bandits. You could just like, you do, oh man, we're sleeping in tents, and the next thing you know, arrows are flying. Oh, the tents are caught on fire. What are you gonna do? Get water. There's no water here. There's no river. Why don't we build our tents around a river? Questions you come to realize way too late. But that's, again, we're here today, so it's much easier. You get on an app, you go on, I don't even know if people are dating in real time, in real life, in terms of like, they are. What I'm trying to say is I don't even know if people are asking people out in person anymore. I don't even know I think if it's happening, it's, at least from my perspective, I can only speak for myself. I can't even imagine right now going up to a random stranger and be like, hey, I think you're cute. Would you like to go out? Like, I don't, so it's all on the lines. It's just because it's the way we've evolved. I don't know. I'm not gonna be, it's one of the, I would like to, but it's just one of those things where if it's just, what do? Because you don't want to like, go to the grocery store. It's my grocery store, dude. I'm not going to do it at my grocery, because then that becomes a thing. Then you might run into a person that may say yes, may say no, but regardless, that's your grocery store. And the gym is for working out. I don't even go to the gym, so I can't do it there. Library. I'm too fucking old to go to the library. What am I going to do at the library? Not going to go to the library anymore. So, down the street, really going to just randomly ask people on the street. So that's it. So it's all on the lines. Essentially, it's like, go to a bar. I'm not going to go sit at a bar, dude. By myself, sit at a bar. I've never been a bar guy. If we're talking like, I like a good bar. Don't get me wrong. You know what I mean? And I'm not even talking about drinking. It could just be like, if you're just, walking down in the middle of the desert, you see a monolith. It's a bar. Who dropped it there? I don't know. Alien made, a mysterious artiste, of sorts drop in some sort of weird monolith that you're left to ponder upon? Is it a good thing or a bad thing? Does it mean that we're stuck in a monolith of a, is our society a monolith? Do we take down the monolith, or do we praise the monolith, or is it just modern art, which is just literally like, you could take a person and just, dump shit on them and be like, art. So is it that, or is it, is the monolith contributing to, are the bars contributing to, money laundering? Is, what are you even talking about? I don't even know. So it's like, am I a fan of bars? Monkey bars way back in the day when I was a youngin', yes. A crowbar, never handled one. I like to hold one because it makes me look like a cat burglar. Not that I'm like a cat burglar or anything. Maybe just a reg burglar. I'm not even a reg burglar, but I would like to, I'll, for the right part, for the right amount of, you know what I'm talking about. We'll put on the hoodie, we'll put on the ski mask, crowbar. 2 crowbars, just because you never know, dude. I will crowbar the shit out of the situation, whatever it needs to. Would even use a crowbar for, to pry open things that are hard to pry open. That's what you use a crowbar for, like doors, windows. That pretty much sums it up. That's pretty much, I think, doors and windows, or like, whatever. But we're talking about bars, so I'm not gonna go sit in a bar and just wait for a random person to walk in and they're having a conversation, or maybe they're by themselves having a drink, and be like, it's dating apps. These days it's evolved to a dating app. I actually applaud the people who go up to people in random public situations and roll the dice. I've not done it in some time myself. I can't even recall the last time I did it. It's been a few years since I made that attempt of, So it's one of those things. It's one of those things that online dating is the thing, and then you meet in person, I think, or if you're, and then you go out on the date. But before you go out on the date, you go, let's go back to the preppage, the shower, the shave. You'd clean yourself up, and then the time comes, maybe your palms are a little bit sweaty, maybe your glands are a little bit sweaty, maybe you're just a little bit nervous, but nerves are good, it's exciting, you're meeting a new person. The whole world is it's filled with opportunities, and man, at the back of your head, but also at the forefront of your head, you're thinking, man, I might get some head tonight. And same for the ladies. The ladies out there might be thinking, maybe I'm gonna get my box eaten out tonight. Maybe there's gonna be some good eating done. Maybe we're gonna have some good eating tonight. Maybe we'll eat good tonight. I'm not talking about food. This is purely sexual. But yeah. Showered, shaved, sat down for a little pee before leaving the old apartment studio / studio compound, apartment studio production facilities, living place, workplace, environment, place of joy, where the walls seem limitless, where you don't feel like you're, it's just, what even are walls? If you just close your eyes and imagine, you'd be surprised as to how far your mind can take you, even within a little, a shoebox of a place of residence and workplace environment. What does size have to do with it anyway? The point is, sat down for a pee, but I was excited, and I before the pee started to come out of the old peen, I felt like there's something wrong. It doesn't feel like something wrong. I sat, because I didn't know if it was shits or pee, so I sat down, and then I felt like there's something, and then I noticed as I was about to, I let out 2 little squirts, but then I stopped myself, which was nice, and I noticed, my belt had slipped. My belt had kind of slipped by itself into the toilet bowl, so I almost peed on my belt. I pulled it out. All right, I may have peed a little bit on my belt, just a little bit. I was gonna clean it up. I tried to clean it up, but it's leather. It's made of leather, so the pee quickly seeped into my belt. So now I am, between you, me, Chinese government, cyber bots, Russian bots, whoever else is watching, Yes, I peed a little bit on my belt, but it was fine. It wasn't too much, literally like 2 drops. And I tried, it's the intent that counts. The intention was to clean it up, but how could you clean it up if it seeps into I'm not gonna wash a belt. I am now wearing a belt that's got potentially two squirts, two little droplets of pee on it. And honestly, think about the many times you step up to a urinal. You know how much splashback you got on your belt and on your crotchal region. But I'm just building up a good immune system at this point. I thought nothing of it, to be honest with you. I smelt it. I'm like, is it too much? Some say not enough. Some say not enough. So that's when I took off the belt. I'm like, you know what? We're already wet. Let's just dip this thing inside the toilet bowl. Did a nice dip in the toilet bowl, put it back around my waist, and I'm like, you know what? We did shower, but yes, it's always good to replenish on going back to, yet again, pheromones. That's right, because I've heard about that thing, because you heard the ladies, if you want to get the male's attention subconsciously, you'd stick your fingers in that English muffin, you stick your fingers in that little, taco, you stick your fingers in that cooch, you stick your fingers in that monkey, you stick your fingers in that, the sideways crooked smile, you stick your fingers in that warm little hot pocket, you stick your fingers in that, you get the gist, you get the idea, you stick it in the puss. You stick it in the puss, hopefully you get a little bit of vag fluid, and then you dab it on the neck, you dab it on the neck, you dab it on the wrist, you dab it anywhere you like, really, and the more the merrier, potentially. It's use accordingly, but I'm a fan. So I thought about, I didn't have, I don't have that option of reaching inside something and grabbing pheromones just willy-nilly, but here's a organic, natural situation where I've peed a couple of drops, 2 drops. It's hard to count how many drops have come out of your cack. It may have been 3 drops. It was not sticky. Like, it didn't get wet. Let's just put. But did I get a little bit of pee on my belt? Yes. And now I'm living that life. So I said, you know what? You showered, you shaved, and probably distributed a good amount of pheromones for it to be out there. And I got out there, dude. I went out there, had a blast. It was nice. Met a lady who was fine. She's fine. She's a beautiful lady, a woman, full-grown woman. I'm talking tits, I'm talking booty, I'm talking full-blown vag. Did not see the vag, did not see outline of the booty, yes. Outline of titties, yes. Inside, it could just all be a charade. I don't even know. But it's for reals. But it did go down. So I met a lady. We went to a pub. Thank you, pub, and we dated, as people date. We played a little bit of pool, which that gives you. Nothing gives your boy a chance, your man's a chance to, just shine a little bit whilst fiddling around with a couple of old balls and an old stick. We played some pool. We handled some sticks and balls, and there's a lot of innuendo with the balls and the sticks and the holes that be filled with the balls, using the sticks and the Q-tips and the chalk and the 8-ball and the side pockets and the shots and the lining of the balls and shooting it and breaking. Yes, don't even get me started on breaking balls. I broke the balls, then we played the pool. And it had been a while since I played pool. It had been many a years. I can't even recall the last time but your boy was decent. Not gonna lie. I'm not gonna say that I'm some sort of underground pool champ, although some say that might be the case. And you out there could use your imagination. Is he an underground pool champ who travels all around the world to say that, hey there, stranger. Yeah, you with the leather vest, with the pocket chain, with the leather chaps, with nothing underneath. Hey, you there with the fedora. Hey there, you with the motorcycle jacket with the patches, with members only patches. Would you like to play pool with this fella who happens to be in town? And maybe we could play for a little bit of money. Would you like to break, or would you like me to break? Oh, you have your own stick. I don't have a stick of my own. Would you be kind enough to lend me one? And then he grabs the end of one stick and ends the other, and hands the other end of the stick to me. And now we're both holding on to one stick, gripping on opposite ends. When should one let go? Let go of the pool stick. Let go of the pool stick, man. Thank you. Do I travel to random bars and pubs? Mysterious places like, oh, I don't know, the Peru? Do I engage in Peru's? Do I see a bunch of people from Peru doing the traditional scissor dance? Do I engage in a nice scissor dance where it consists of me dancing with scissors? Hell, I've danced with wolves. I've danced with, people. I've danced with, I've danced by myself. Do I scissor dance? I will scissor dance, dude, and I commit to that shit to the point where I accidentally, but on purpose, circumcised myself twice on one night while doing a traditional scissor dance of South America. But that's not, but then after I grab my cue and my pool stick and I go to the bar where we play and you win the first round. Oh man, you're really good. Let me play you another round, and then you play and you win the second round as well. But that's when I turn it up. That's when the shit happens where I'm like, all or nothing, double or not, triple or nothing. Give me one more shot. Let's do this once again. And we take off our clothes because it's just too heated in this bar. They actually had really good AC. It's the best AC I've ever seen, but I couldn't refuse a chance to say, hey, why don't we all just lose these pesky clothing items, because I like to play nude. That's right. And perhaps on the third round, I do a sweep. I do a whole sweep. Perhaps that's the way it goes down. Perhaps that's the way the legend flows. Perhaps that's what the old folk tale tells when the folk tale's being told. Or perhaps your boy, your mans, is just dabbler in bar games. If it's avails, I'll play. Darts, let's go. So, we played a little bit of pool, had a little bit of chit chat, had a couple of drinks, which was nice. Had some beers, had a pitcher, split old classic pitcher of beer. And at the end of the night, a few hours later, smoked the joint and went our separate ways. And then your boy got home, having had a great time, sat down and eventually went to sleep and woke up the next morning and said, it's enough of this. Because I gotta reel it in. I had a lovely evening. It was a great time. Lovely lady. Had a wonderful time, shared some stories, heard some stories. But at the end of the day, I just wanted to get out and have a date because it had been a while. I just literally, it had been way too long since your boy actually went out there, sat down across a female, had a conversation, locked eyes, and listened, and again spoke. And it was just nice to be in that setting. But then I reminded myself that I'm not here to date. I'm here to get my dick sucked. That's what it is. So moving on, this just opened the door for your boy to get out there, to spread his pheromones, intentionally or unintentionally, nonetheless. In one way or another, it will be spread. And yes, got home, eventually did jerk off, not gonna lie to you guys, because I was hoping I'd get my dick sucked, but it didn't go that way. We had a great time. It just didn't go that way, And I like to be very straight up and, honest with where I'm at in life and what I'm looking for at the moment. At the moment, your boy's out, your man's out there, dating in the dating pool, and I don't make efforts. I've not made an effort to even date in a long time. So this was nice. To go out on a date, I'm very grateful. Just to have a beautiful lady sit across from you and, have a little bit of conversation is nice. Drinking is nice. Smoking a lot of J is nice. And the entire experience, yes, beautiful. Did it again. Open up the doors to further dating? 100%. Absolutely. More dates. But more shorter to the point dates. I like to be from now on, I think I will just lay it out on the table flat out, as I've done in the past at times, where I just, yes, I'm straight up the sexual. That's what it is. Because it's like, I'm not, and I'm not condoning any sort of like, I don't give advice as to how you should live your life, or to like, if you, because a good relationship is a solid relationship, is a good one. And if you find a good one, just keep it tight, put a ring on it, or no, just take a stall, or do whatever is suitable for you. What I'm trying to say is that I'm out here not dating with any sort of, I'm not dating at all. It's just, again, it's been a while, and I'm not dating with any sort of, commitment intentions, or any sort of, are we gonna, because I feel like I don't want to promise anybody anything that I can't, deliver. I just know my maximum energy right now is committed to one life, and that's the life of a comic, who wants to grow to become a full-blown comic one day, with the many opportunities that are abundant in a city which is just thriving. If you were to distort the definition of thriving, the city would be in all its aspects right now, just because people are fine, people are doing well. If you were to change the definitions of fine and well, you could easily say people are doing fine, people are doing well. But overall, people are doing good. Regular people have their, because it's like we forget, like, because you forget, because everything's so embedded into each other. Our reality is kind of like distorted. We're not, and that's maybe been all the time, but now more so than ever, because of like the emergence and the merging of humanity with technology. You get exposed to so many things that are connecting you to places and times that are not even relevant to you at a local level, but nonetheless. So it's like, but people forget. Sometimes we all forget too, that we've come back from, a prolonged period of being locked down, due to government overreach, due to, pharmaceutical companies making bank, due to, fat cats in politics just stuffing their pockets, and, and then coming back, having shut down so many small little businesses, and it's, yeah, so you do see it, you do feel it out there. People are a little bit more conservative with their spending, a little bit more, just a little bit more. You see people, you see it, you hear it, you smell it, you see it on the streets, so it's all out there. But at the same rate, we're all the same. We're all equally the same in more or less ways. And with, so like if you, it's just sometimes, like, I'll hear a message, like I'll see a news article of, like, the royal family in the UK having, health issues, and they put it out there, and, the media will make it appear as so that, with well wishes, and, it must be so difficult for them. And then, yes, of course, you tap into that, like, human, part of people being sick, and like, oh no, you feel bad. But at the same rate, you're like, man, millions of other people, billions of people are out there on a regular day getting sick, having to deal with, so many illnesses, this, that, and the other. And they don't have the resources to, go to the doctor, get a checkup, see a family doctor, see a family physician, get a vasectomy, get their ears checked, get a mammogram, get a lipo, suck out some fat from one place and stuff it into another place, who knows, or whatever. But then you hear these things, and it's like, man, I don't even know what I was talking about, but I'm just like saying that, yes, the message is that we're all the same, we're all in it together, but at the same rate, some of us are, doing it more so on other people's backs than on, I don't even know what I'm saying. It's sip to the gang. That's what I'm saying. Is what it is. It's what it is, and I've said it. And we're gonna skirt and segue to the left, right over here. It is using health concerns to buy public sympathy for the concept of royal families is an interesting one, because yes, regular people get sick all the time. You never hear about it, or if you do, you're told to, keep it to yourself, suck it up, be a man, or, get the help you need, or like, or whatever. But yeah, it's just interesting. It's just interesting. Your heart does go out, because if you do genuinely hear somebody's getting sick or experiencing illnesses, yes. But there is that discrepancy as to, man, people who sit behind, generational wealth, who is, it's just, yeah, I don't know. Just talking at no particular, direction, just talking. And it's good to talk, and it's good to get things out. And other news and events that are going around the world outside your boy's interesting love life, which happens to be filled with puss. Like from, it's not like physical, like it's there. I wasn't in it, I wasn't in one, but a much closer, one step closer to puss. I'll say that. One step closer to puss. One small step for puss, one giant step for puss kind. Sip, sip to the gang. I believe Russia recently had a terrorist attack. So shout out to people in Russia who suffer from terrorist attacks. It's devastating. It's, it's one of those things where you're like, man, it's ISIS or Hamas and that's the thing too. When you look at Islamist terrorists, if you just, outside of this time that Russia got attacked by Islamist terrorists, and, just take that aside for a second, and outside of, let's say, an event like 9/11, outside of ISIS, outside of Al-Qaeda, outside of the Taliban, outside of the Islamic Republic of the Iran, outside of the, Hezbollah, outside of, Boko Haram, outside of the FGMs that's taken place in sub-Saharan Africa and the Middle East, outside of, just violating all sorts of human rights on a regular, but outside, if you just like, if you look, it's just you could, if you technically switch the definition of an anomaly and, happen to look at it in a perspective where it would to just be like, man, it's just an anomaly. It happened this one time. You could easily say that this is an anomaly. If you were to change the definition of an anomaly, you could say that. So, outside of, Islam, again, just if you isolate the incidents, change a few definitions of a word, you'll notice that this type of thing does not happen all too frequently. Happens, again, if you change the definition of frequent, and if you change the definition of anomaly, and that's how you start switching around the meanings of words, and that is how you control things. And together we're making progress. Little teeny tiny, it's a bit like, well, what does it take, Canada, to get JT out of here? Seriously, for 1 second, if we could just, and I'm not a left guy, I'm not a right guy, I'm a person that I've voted once in my life, and that was to just get JT out of office one time. And because Canada needs to, man, we need to skirt and like get things a little bit back to some sort of middle ground, common ground, I don't know, whatever you call it, some sort of a more balanced way of doing things. Because I know it's not like, everything impacts everything, and it's like top down, bottoms up. It's it's just the overall overreaching, just you see it, you feel it in every aspect of it. It's just too much. So what I'm trying to say is that my heart goes out to anybody who's been impacted anywhere in terms of, like, again, if we're outside of the October 6th event that went down in Israel, again, if you isolate the incidents and switch the meaning of anomaly, and you could easily say that these things, sip to the gang. It's Wednesday and I'm all over the place. But it's fine. Every once in a while, you're all over the place, and that's the way she goes. Recently, I'll say this. Recently, I did see just over, was it last night or the night before? I think it happened on Tuesday in Baltimore. A giant ship, a shipping ship containing shipping containers for the shippage, flew into a bridge in Baltimore, went into a bridge in Baltimore, and the bridge collapsed, and unfortunately some people have died. Rest in peace to the people. It says it's an accident. and I saw the video. That's a giant ship with a giant bridge. How do you drive a giant ship into a giant bridge? It's right there in front of you. It's so big. They're both so big. How do you not see one? There's a reasonable and logical explanation for this, that this too was just an anomaly. And if you were to change the definition of anomaly and be willing to reconsider the fact that this ship was also, if you overlook the fact that this ship was also involved in another quote-unquote accident just a few years back, you'd realize that it's just one of those unfortunate things that just happened to happen by nothing more than just sheer coincidence. Or was it, and some people might ask, was it though? Was it a coincidence? Some people might say that. Some people might have some questions as to why a giant ship floats into a bridge, because you have so much space and both of them are so large and there's so much time for a lot of things. You really have to let things go until the very last minute for a ship to collide with a bridge. You would really have to lose your path in order to hit a bridge. We're not talking about a tight little corner where you're like, oh, I can't, this isn't a little tight little, you're on water. You're on water and there's a giant bridge and your ship is also giant. So how does one lose control of a ship? So, and to the point where it's so late, where you ram into a bridge. I don't know, it might be accident. Unfortunately, some people have died, which sucks. But I would hope that it's an accident. I don't know what might cause somebody to, are there anybody in, is there ship versus bridge beef that we're unaware of? Are there like ship bridge gang wars? Are there, are ships and gangs in a war with each other in terms of like, oh man, we're beefing, this is our turf. The ships are like, we control the water. The bridge is like, nah, bitch, we connect shit from A to B. You don't control nothing. Get out of here. And then every once in a while, there's just like, ships and bridges colliding. Ships versus bridge. That should be a show. It could be a show. We'd have to definitely have more bridges and ships having some sort of, standoff situation, because you need to fill up a lot of time slots, and it would require more than 1 or 2 or 3 ship/bridge incidents to make a show out of it. But nonetheless, would it be exciting? Yeah, we could squeeze it in between Shark Week and fucking, Iron Chef or whatever you like. The point is that the bridge went down. It's, I don't know what's going on, but it was, I like bridges. I'm saddened to see the bridge go down. I'm also saddened that people have lost their lives, because it seems like something that could have been avoided. Really, because it's this large, extremely large ship with a giant bridge. How do you lose control of a giant ship so late, so to smash into a bridge? Interesting. But it was an accident. It was, that's what they're saying, so that's what it was. Totally was. Boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen, I've just been thinking we should, how to make more exciting sports events. Let me ask you this. Do you like wrestling? Yeah, you do. Do you like to see performance enhancements? Yes, you do. What if I said, forget about performance enhancement drugs. What if I said we could combine wrestling with pathogens? Now, before you say, whoa, you don't need to say more. I'm already sold on this topic. Allow me to explain. Wrestling with pathogens. So you get wrestlers, right? Regular wrestlers. And you hand them needles filled with pathogens that are filled with viruses and vials with needles, and just, you hand it to them. So now they're wrestling. They're wrestling and they get to stab each other with vials filled with pathogens. And as they're wrestling and they're in the wrestling competition, and they would get weaker and weaker, embedded with the the most futuristic of pathogens and virus, losing control in their limbs, their bodily movements, their bowel functions. But then they also have to focus on the task at hand, to pin their opponent, to put the back of the opponent on the mat, to flip the opponent over, although not just fighting their opponent, now fighting pathogens. Imagine that. Oily, lubed up wrestlers wrestling, but also hands filled with needles, which are filled with pathogens and viruses, stabbing each other, trying to stab each other in the neck, in the eye socket. Will people pay for it? I think we will. I think together we will. Literally, you can pretty much make money out of everything these days in terms of if it's exciting, if there's a good sponsor, you put Monster Energy in the middle of that shit. Let's go, dude. Wrestling with pathogens. That's pathogen wrestlers. Viral wrestlers who are just first round they're really like fucking like they're in good shape. 3 minutes into the round, one of them gets stabbed in the neck with some sort of like just some sort of like deadly virus. At the end of it, we could give them like we'll take care of them at the end. But like you get stabbed with some sort of like this is like this thing's gonna just compromise your immune system, fam. You're gonna get woozy. You're gonna get dizzy. Now try to pin your opponent. How exciting is that? I know. Everybody's gonna be lined up. Tickets are gonna be sold across the nation. Hell, this thing might even go global. With your help, why not? Yes, we can. Yes, we did. Together, we're doing it, ladies and gentlemen, on a regular basis. I hope whatever you're doing out there, whether it's dating, whether it is, just working on yourself, working on your dog grooming skills, working on a project that enhances the human ability to withstand pressure, but coming off what? I don't know, pressure by something. You're working on something. Maybe you're out there trying to turn tampons into chewable little snacks, because why not? It sure seems like a waste, doesn't it? Blood-filled tampons just being tossed in the trash. Next time, chew on a blood-filled tampon. Be a man or be a lady who hangs out at truck stops and chews on bloody tampons. Man, this thing's gonna fucking catch on. Like, it's gonna, please. I don't want everybody to talk about this because I don't want it to just become like an overnight sensation sort of an idea. I want it to remain small. I want it to remain kind of on the underground, kind of like, just like between you and me, and like, yeah. So if you hear that idea of like, oh, we're gonna be chewing on some blood-filled tampons, please don't let it become like one of those, I don't want it to, but at the same rate, when the time is right, when the doors are meant to be open so that it's, presented to the public for mass consumption, why not? One day in the near future, we could all be chewing on blood clot filled tampons, and it'll just be for the betterment of one, you, yes, you, two, for this show. Why? No correlation, no causation, no exact reasoning or logic behind it, just because. 3, you actually don't need 3 reasons. It'll just, it'll do well in and of itself, by itself. It'll do well, and it's good for everything and everyone. So please talk about it, but like not too much. So if anybody asks you, where'd you get that idea? I see you chewing on a blood-filled tampon. Don't go around saying, oh, I heard it on Glad You Made It. Or do, or don't, or do. I'll leave it up to you. The choice is yours. You have full freedom to make whatever choice you like to make freely. So choose wisely. But also, have fun out there dating. Have fun out there if you finished dating, now you're married, but like you're still like dating your lover. Have fun doing that shit. Keep doing all the things that you guys are doing, you gals are doing out there. We'll keep it tight. Today's been Wednesday. Wacky, loose Wednesday all over the place. No particular agenda in any given direction, but Canada, let's reel it in now. It's been nice having JT and liberalism and all that shit. It's been nice, but we need to like just, if we want to move forward, have our country back a little bit, we need to get a little bit of, a little bit of common sense, a little bit of just like, I don't even know what I'm saying, but let's get it back. We can do this together, I believes. And yes, where can you find these videos? Every Wednesday and Friday. Dropped on Instagram. Follow me there. Subscribe on the YouTube channel. Help your boy, help yourself. Check out patreon.com/RobSadre if you'd like to fiscally, financially support your boy. And yeah, we'll be back here again next Friday, which is this coming Friday. So out there, whatever you're doing, have fun. I love you guys. Be good to yourselves. Peace out.